It is wonderful to have you joining us here today for Books and Badges. My name is Julie Menk, and I work with Wayzata Public Schools in the Community Education Department. And part of my job is to work with volunteers. Volunteers are people that help other people. And the volunteers that I work with love reading, and they help kids just like you learn how to read and become better readers. So you might know that we're in the month of October right now, but did you know that October is National Book Month? That means in the month of October, we get to celebrate books and our love of books and reading. So today we have some super special volunteer readers, the Plymouth police officers, and the police officers and clerical staff at the Plymouth Police Department are amazing volunteers and partners with our Wayzata Public Schools Literacy Volunteer Program. So a few things to know before we meet our police officers today. Many of you who signed up today shared your name and your favorite book. So listen closely today because the police officers might say your name and your favorite book. Also, guess what? The books that the police officers are reading today were selected by 3 of you who are here today. So pay attention because they might read your favorite book. And one more thing, one lucky family will win a personal family tour of the Plymouth Police Department, the Plymouth Police Station, or to meet a Plymouth K-9 officer and his partner. And the winner will be announced towards the end of this event. Okay, so let's meet our Plymouth police officers. We have Police Chief Eric Fadden and police officers Aaron Marsh and Sarah Clays with us today. Thank you, officers.
Thank you, guys. Hello, everybody. This is Eric Fadden. I'm the police chief from the Plymouth Police Department. A fun little fact is that I also went to Wayzata schools. So I went to Gleason Lake Elementary as a child and grew up through the Wayzata school system and graduated from Wayzata High School a few years ago. I'll let the other 2 officers introduce themselves quick and then we'll read the first book.
Hi guys, I'm Sarah. I also grew up in Plymouth and went to Wayzata School. So I went to Plymouth Creek Elementary and then East Middle School, and I graduated from Wayzata High School.
Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Marsh, Officer Marsh. I've been a police officer for 21 years, a long time. I did not grow up in Plymouth, but I love being here and I love working here and I love serving this community.
All right, so I get the privilege of reading the first book, so I'm going to move up a little closer here so we can show the pictures and the pages as we go along. And the book that I'm going to read to you is Chicka, Chicka, 1, 2, 3 by Bill Martin Jr., Michael Sampson, and Lois Ellert. And this picture or this book was picked by Merritt. So Merritt, if you're listening, I hope you are. Good selection. So here we're going to start. That's the first pages here. All right. 1 told 2 and 2 told 3. I'll race you to the top of the apple tree. Climb, said 4 to 5 and 6. Bright little numbers that join the mix. Hurry, yelled 7 to number 8. Slowpoke fellow who's always late. Chicka, chicka. 1, 2, 3, will there be a place for me? That's 0 talking right there. Here comes 9 to the apple tree. Next comes 10 and then 11. Wow, these apples taste like heaven. Chicka, chicka, 1, 2, 3, will there be a place for me? Hot pink 12, lucky 13, picking apples red and green. 14, 15, can't you see? They all want to climb the apple tree. Chicka, chicka, 1, 2, 3, will there be a place for me? 16's next to make the scene, climbing branches with 17. 18, 19, 1 more's 20. Numbers, numbers, there are plenty. Chicka, chicka, 1, 2, 3, will there be a place for me? Curvy 30, flatfoot 40, climbing up to join the party. 50's fine and 60's dandy, 70s hair is long and sandy, not like my hair. Chicka, chicka, 1, 2, 3. Will there be a place for me? Let's climb more, says treetop 80, higher and higher up to 90, until at least there's 99, and all the numbers are feeling fine. Except for 0, who begins to cry. Chicka, chicka, 1, 2, 3. Will there be a place for me? Oh no, buzzing close, bumblebees. 0 hides behind the tree. Get out of our tree, the bumblebees shout, and all the numbers tumble out. 90, 80, 70 fall, hit the ground in a free-for-all. 60, 50, 40 run, no more climbing, no more fun. 30 next, then sweet little 20, numbers, numbers, no longer plenty. 19 and 18, my oh my, frightened numbers jump and fly. 17, 16, 15 more, now 14 has hit the floor, and 13 too, unlucky guy. 12 had almost touched the sky. See all the numbers falling out. Bent up 11, wait, where's 10? 9, 8, 7 follow then. Twisted 6 and top hat 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, take a dive. Chicka, chicka, 1, 2, 3. Now I know the place for me. 0 leaps into the sky. Brave little number, he's not shy. 0 lands on top of the tree, joins with 10. Now 100 you see. Chicka, chicka, 1, 2, 3. Here's the place that's just for me. All the numbers come back out, higher and higher as they shout. Chicka, chicka, 1, 2, 3. 0's hero of the number tree. The end. I won't read all the numbers for you. So that's the end of the first book. I'm now going to introduce the second reader, Officer Clays, who you already got a little introduction, and she'll introduce and read the next book.
Thank you. I actually have a couple students who wrote in and told us what their favorite books are. So I was told that Jana and Jasmine both like the book Katie Who, which is pretty cool. And then Mason loves anything that's Pete the Cat, which is interesting because I actually have 2 kids. I have a daughter named Penelope and a son named Ryder, and we read Pete the Cat at home too. So I like Pete the Cat a lot. So today I get to read the book Stuck, and this book is by Oliver Jeffers, and Ainsley picked the book for me to read today. So I'm going to just scoot over so you guys can see it here. All right. It all began when Floyd's kite became stuck up in a tree. He tried pulling and swinging, but it wouldn't come unstuck. The trouble really began when he threw his favorite shoe to knock the kite loose, and that got stuck too. So he threw up his other shoe to knock down his favorite one, and unbelievably, that got stuck too. In order to knock down his other shoe, Floyd fetched Mitch. What do you think he's going to do with Mitch the cat? Let's find out. Cats get stuck in trees all the time, but this was getting ridiculous. Floyd fetched a ladder. He was going to sort this out once and for all. And up he threw it. I'm sure you can guess what happened. The ladder was borrowed from a neighbor and would definitely need to be put back before anyone noticed. And in order to do so, Floyd flung a bucket of paint at it. And wouldn't you know it, the bucket of paint got stuck. Then Floyd tried a duck to knock down the bucket of paint, a chair to knock down the duck, his friend's bicycle to knock down the chair. the kitchen sink to knock down his friend's bicycle, Floyd's front door to knock down the kitchen sink, the family car to knock down their front door, the milkman to knock down the family cat. He says, "Did you get up here the same way?" An orangutan to knock down the milkman, who surely had elsewhere to be. A small boat to knock down the orangutan, a big boat to knock down the small boat, a rhinoceros to knock down the big boat, a long distance truck to knock down the rhinoceros, the house across the street to knock down the long distance truck. Floyd? A lighthouse to knock down the house that was no longer across the street, and a curious whale in the wrong place at the wrong time to knock down the lighthouse. He says, "Hi, what are you doing?" And they all got stuck. Now what? A fire engine was passing and heard all the commotion. The firemen stopped to see if they could help at all. He says, "Can we help at all?" And up they went. First the engine, followed by all the firemen, one by one. And there they stayed, stuck between the orangutan and one of the boats. Firemen would definitely be noticed missing, and Floyd knew he'd be in big trouble. Then he had an idea, and he went to find a saw. He lined it up as best as he could, and he hurled it up the tree. And that was it. There was no more room left in the tree, and the kite came unstuck. Pop! Floyd was delighted. He had forgotten all about his kite and put it to use immediately, enjoying the rest of his day very much. That night, Floyd fell asleep exhausted. Though before he did, he could have sworn there was something he was forgetting. What's over there? Hang on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea. They're all stuck in the tree. I wonder how they're going to get down. You guys could probably come up with some ideas at home on how they could get out of the tree. So next, I'm going to have Officer Aaron Marsh read his book to you guys.
That was a good book.
Yeah,
That was fun. So I'm going to read a really good book too here in a second. But I want to acknowledge a couple other really cool books that you guys said were your favorites. So Ryan, you're out there. Your favorite book is The Banshee. And Elsie, your favorite book is My First Book of Baseball. I haven't heard of that one, but I love baseball, so I bet I would love that one too. And then Nate and Hogan both said their favorite books were the I Survived series. And I also have 3 boys, and one's in 5th grade, and that is also his favorite series. He loves reading those, so that's really cool. And Charlie, here's Charlie's book he picked out for us. The book with no pictures. And I thought, that's kind of odd. A book with no pictures. I don't think I've ever read a book to elementary kids with no pictures. So not really sure how this is going to go, but let's give it a try, right? Okay, so the book No Pictures by BJ Novak. This is a book with no pictures. It might seem like no fun to have someone read you a book with no pictures. That's kind of what I thought. It probably seems boring and serious, except here's how books work. Everything the words say, the person reading the book has to say. No matter what. That's the rule, or that's the deal. That's the rule. So that means even if the words say, Blork. Wait, what? That doesn't even mean anything. Blurf. What? This isn't the kind of book I wanted to read. And now I have to say every word the book says? Uh-oh. I am a monkey who taught myself to read. Hey, I'm not a monkey. And now I'm reading you this book with my monkey mouth in my monkey voice. That's not true. I'm not a monkey. Yes, I am a monkey. Also, I am a robot monkey. What? And my head is made of blueberry pizza. Is this whole book a trick? Can I stop reading now? Please? No? And now it's time for me to sing you my favorite song. A song? Do I really have to sing? Glug, 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 my face is a bug. I eat ants for breakfast right off the rug. What? This book is ridiculous. Can I stop reading yet? No. There are more pages. I have to read the rest. My only friend in the whole wide world is a hippo named Boo Boo Butt. Boo Boo Butt.
That is funny.
Oh, this is good stuff. And also the kid I'm reading this book to is the best kid ever in the history of the entire world. Oh, really? Is that you, Charlie? And this kid is the smartest kid too, because this kid chose this book even though it had no pictures. Because kids know this is the book that makes grown-ups have to say silly things. And make silly sounds like, oh no, here it comes. Glurgakwoko, Magrumpadoo, Aye, Broog, Broog, Oimph, Imph, Gloggity, Glibbity, Globbity, Beep, Bop, Badoongy face. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Please don't ever make me read this book again. It is so silly. In fact, it is completely and utterly preposterous. Next time, please choose a book with pictures, please, because this is just too ridiculous to read. The end. Bonk. I didn't want to say that. That is a good book, Charlie. Good choice. I love it.
That's a great book.
That was a good book. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed the book reading. So we also understood that you guys wanted to ask a few questions and hear a few responses from us as police officers. So we thought that was really cool. So we don't have time to go through all of your questions, but you guys submitted questions and we put them into a, you're going to love this, a cookie jar. Well, that cookie jar, huh? That's a police car cookie jar. And we have some questions in here that we're going to ask randomly. I'm going to be the question asker to Chief Fadden and Officer Clace. So we'll hear a couple of their responses from the questions you guys asked, okay? All right, so who's going to get their question answered here? All right, first question. This will be a question for Chief Fadden. All right, this is a good one. How does 911 work?
That is a really good question. So I'm sure you've all known that if you ever need help from a policeman, a fireman, an ambulance, to call 911. When you call 911, the phone rings on the other end of the line at a 911 dispatch center. there are people that work at a dispatch center and they answer the phone when you or someone calls 911. And what they have on the other end is they have a computer and a radio. So if you call 911 or anybody calls 911 and asks for help, they will ask you specific questions to help solve the problem. So you'll be able to tell them what's going on and what you need for help. And then all they have to do is keeping you on the phone. They can talk on their radio, and the radios go right to all of us who are out working and driving around. So they'll know on their computer who the closest person is to come and help you, whatever it is that you need when you call 911. But I will say, let's preface this with, and I'm sure you've had this conversation with your teachers and your parents, that it can only be used for emergencies. So I have had people call 911 sometimes for some really silly things that maybe weren't emergencies. And often people have called 911 just to see if it actually works. And I can promise you it does work, and the police might come or the fire department might come. So it's only in emergencies when you really need some help to call 911.
All right, good answer. Thank you. All right, next question. Drum roll. Oh, this is a good question. A very non-serious question. Mr. Calais, do you want to answer
I'll
this one?
hit it, yep.
Okay. What is your favorite candy?
That's a great question,
That's a great
especially
question.
since Halloween is coming up. So
Yes.
this is good to know. I actually have two favorite candies, and they're in two different categories. So I like sour candy and I like chocolate candy. So my favorite sour candy is sour Mike and Ike's. They actually used to be called Sours, but now they're just sour Mike and Ike's. And I had some in my office, and I think some of my friends might have eaten some here, because they're not there anymore, which is okay because I share my candy. And my favorite chocolate candy is Whoppers. I love Whoppers, yes. Mhm. Great question.
Great question. All right, next one. In the cookie jar. Here's a good question, Chief. We'll go back to you.
All right.
Okay, how many police dogs do you have at the department? And do you know what any of their favorite toys are?
Those are some great questions. So we have 3 police dogs that work at the police department right now. You can see one of them here in our backdrop. If I turn the camera up, that is Officer Duncan and his partner Rico. So that's just one of our 3 police dogs. And, you know, we have 3 different police dogs, and they have different personalities and they like different things. But I can tell you that I used to have a police dog here too. And I think that the one toy that our police dogs like the most are either a Kong, which is a little rubber ball, or a tennis ball. They love those toys. And that's what motivates our police dogs to do all the good work that they do. They are trained to go catch bad guys. They're trained to find missing people. So if someone gets lost at a park or in the woods, the police dogs can smell where they went and go and find them. And they do that all just for a toy. So that's how we train them. And those toys are probably the most important thing that we can have as a canine police officer to keep the dogs happy and motivated to go to work.
All right, let's do one more question. We'll go back to Officer Clace again. Here it comes. Oh, this is a really good question too. How do you help kids my age?
Great question. So I would say one of the main ways that we help kids or anybody is when we respond to emergency calls, which Chief Fadden kind of talked about when we talked about how 911 works. So our biggest job is to make sure that you guys are safe. And if you need us, if somebody calls 911, we'll always be there to help you. A couple other ways we help kids your age is we come out and we do stuff like this. We do education in the community. We teach DARE for those of you who are in 5th grade or around 5th grade, or maybe have siblings that are in 5th grade. We'll come out and teach DARE. We also come out in the community. We'll drive around the neighborhoods. We'll talk to kids. We encourage wearing your helmets and staying safe. So you'll see us out and about in neighborhoods doing that too. So there's lots of different things we do. And if you guys think of anything I'm forgetting, because we do a lot to help you guys.
Awesome. Thanks for submitting those questions. Those are really cool. So the last announcement, I guess we're going to do is Chief Fadden's going to tell you about a really cool event coming up.
Thank you, Officer Marsh. So I believe that we're gonna put a flyer up on the screen, or I have it here if we need to show it, but I want to let everybody know about a really fun event that we're doing here at Parker's Lake on Friday, October 29th. So this is all about Halloween. We know Halloween is coming up, and it's one of my favorite times of the year because I also have kids that are in elementary school and they love dressing up for Halloween. So we are doing a free event. It's at Parker's Lake on Friday, October 29th, and it runs from 5 to 8 p.m. And there's going to be a number of fun things. It's a free walkthrough event. So you'll get out, you'll be able to walk through the park. You can wear costumes. There's going to be games and activities. There's going to be trick or treat stations, inflatables, some mini golf, tons of fun stuff to do. There'll also be fire trucks, police cars, and ambulances that you can get to tour and look at and touch and sit in. It's going to be a really fun event. So we just wanted to make sure everybody knew about it. So Friday, October 29th, 5 to 8 p.m. at Parker's Lake Playfields here in Plymouth.
Awesome. Thank you, officers. That was wonderful and great selection of books too by the students.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one more announcement. I'm going to announce the winner of the personal tour of the police station or meeting a Plymouth canine officer, and the winner gets to choose which one they would like. Megan in the early learning school office did a random drawing earlier today of all of the kids who signed up. And the winner is the Kuzik-Kanani family. So congratulations. We will be in touch with you to set that up. And then I just have two messages that came in from a couple of kids. Nate would like to thank all of the police officers for their service and the awesome job they do every day to keep us safe. Zach also wants to say thank you to all of the police officers for keeping us safe and always being there for us. Thank you to all the police officers for everything you do for us.
Thank
All
you,
right.
everybody.
And
Thanks for
that
having
wraps
us.
up.
This was a ton of fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We hope to have you back soon. And thank you for celebrating National Book Month with us. All
Thank you
right.
very
And
much.
yes, remember everybody, read every day and devour those books. All right.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.